One way to enhance current therapies is to shift focus towards the meaning dimension or spiritual aspect of human being. This is Frankel's idea. The basic tenets of local therapy are that human life has meaning. Human beings long to experience their own sense of life meaning. So, and human has the potential to experience meaning under any and every circumstance. First, freedom of will. Humans are free to decide and can take a stance towards both internal and external conditions. Freedom in this context is defined as a space to shape one's own life within limits of specific possibilities. It provides the clients with room for autonomy in the face of somatic or psychological illness. In essence, we are free to choose our responses no matter our circumstance. 2. Will to meaning. Humans are free to achieve goals and purpose in life. Frustration, aggression, addiction, depression, and suicidality arise when individuals cannot realize their will to meaning. As humans, our primary motive is to search for meaning or purpose in our lives. We are capable of surpassing pleasure and supporting pains for a meaningful cause. 3. Meaning of life. Meaning is an objective reality rather than merely an illusion or personal perception. Humans have both freedom and responsibility to bring forth their best possible selves by realizing the meaning of the moment in every situation.
The truth is that as the struggle for survival has subsided, the question has emerged: survival for what? Even more people today have the means to live, but no meaning to live for. These are the words of Viktor Frankl, a 20th century Viennese psychiatrist, most famous for his book Man's Search for Meaning. In that book, Frankl details his time spent as a Nazi concentration camp prisoner and reflects on how one can find meaning in life even in the harshest of conditions. Frankl, whose interest in the topic of life's meaning began as a teenager, came to the realization that while ever more people in Western nations were living lives of material comfort, all too many lived in a detrimental psychological state he called the existential vacuum. As he explained, the existential vacuum is a widespread phenomenon of the 20th century. This is understandable. It may be due to a twofold loss which man has had to undergo since he became a truly human being. At the beginning of human history, man lost some of the basic animal instincts in which an animal's behavior is embedded and by which it is secured. In addition to this, however, man has suffered another loss in his more recent development, inasmuch as the traditions which buttressed his behavior are now rapidly diminishing. No instinct tells him what he has to do, and no tradition tells him what he ought to do. Sometimes he does not even know what he wishes to do. Instead, he either wishes to do what other people do, conformism, or he does what other people wish him to do, totalitarianism. The preponderance of people living lives absent of meaning led to the emergence of what Frankl called the mass neurotic triad. This was a term he coined to describe the three most common symptoms associated with lives lived in the existential vacuum, namely depression, aggression, and addiction. To help counter the dire effects that accompany a life without meaning, Frankl founded a school of psychiatry called logotherapy, which in Frankl's words, considers man as a being whose main concern consists of fulfilling a meaning and in actualizing values, rather than in the mere gratification and satisfaction of drives and instincts. In the remainder of this video, we will outline some of the key insights of logotherapy, insights Frankl believed could greatly assist one in living a more fulfilling life. A key tenet of logotherapy is that the pursuit of meaning, or what Frankl sometimes referred to as the will to meaning, is the primary motivational factor in humans. This can be contrasted to other schools of psychiatry which maintain that the pursuit of pleasure or the will to power are the primary factors. According to Frankl, it is when individuals fail to find meaning in their lives that they turn to the dogged pursuit of pleasure or power, in the false belief that so doing will fill the void that an absence of meaning has left in them. For those who decide to pursue a more meaningful existence, Frankl emphasized that doing so did not mean searching for the ultimate meaning of life, as he put it. This ultimate meaning necessarily exceeds and surpasses the finite intellectual capacities of man. What is demanded of man is not, as some existential philosophers teach, to endure the meaninglessness of life, but rather to bear his incapacity to grasp its unconditional meaningfulness in rational terms. While the ultimate meaning of life is unknowable, Frankl held that each person had the opportunity to realize meaning in their life at a personal level, and so doing would greatly improve the quality of their life. It should be noted that Frankl did not believe that individuals created such meaning. Rather, he believed it was discovered and was present in every living moment, whether one was aware of it or not. As he put it, "I am convinced that in the final analysis, there is no situation that does not contain within it the seed of a meaning." In order to discover and realize these personal seeds of meaning, Frankl suggested that for most people a change of attitude is required. We need to stop asking about the meaning of life, and instead to think of ourselves as those who are being questioned by life daily and hourly. Our answer must consist not in talk and meditation, but in right action and right conduct. Life ultimately means the responsibility to find the right answers to its problems and to fulfill the tasks which it constantly sets for each individual. Frankl stressed that as unique individuals, meaning will present itself in different ways to each person. Each of us face different situations in our lives, some of which are more and some of which are less under our control and influence. Frankl's belief was that no matter what fate brought, if one took appropriate action and adopted the right attitude to the situation, a meaningful life could be realized. In a passage in Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl nicely distinguished how actualizing personal meaning differs from the search for abstract answers to life's meaning. To put the question of the meaning of life in general terms would be comparable to the question posed to a chess champion. "Tell me, master, what is the best move in the world?" There simply is no such thing as the best or even a good move apart from a particular situation in a game and the particular personality of one's opponent. The same holds for human existence. One should not search for an abstract meaning of life. Everyone has his own specific vocation or mission in life to carry out a concrete assignment which demands fulfillment.
Okay, then here there is introduced to another main idea of Frankl, which is talk about how people search for meaning. People can discover meaning in life through three ways. First, creative values. Before this, Frankl introduced a concept, existential vacuum, which means people have no sense of meaning about his life. But how people can find meaning of life, Frankl suggests people to find meaning from these three ways. First, creative value. The logotherapist role consists in widening and broadening the visual field of the patient so that the whole spectrum of meaning and values becomes conscious and visible to him. A major source of meaning is through the value of all that we create, achieve, and accomplish. In this sense, creative values are what one finds by creating a work or doing a deed. Second, meaning through experiential values. Franco wrote, let us ask a mountain climber who has seen the beautiful sunset in the mountains and is so amazed by the beauty of nature that they feel a shovel down their back. Let us ask him if after such an experience, their life can still feel completely meaningless. So, in this sense, experiential values are realized by experiencing something or encounter something that is very beautiful in your life or very amazing in your life. 3. Attitudinal values. Franco argues that we always have the freedom to find meaning through meaningful attitudes, even in apparently meaningless situations. The third source of meaning is attitudinal values, which comprise virtues such as bravery, compassion, and humor, but also suffering. Creating or finding meaning through attitudinal values also includes transcending limitations, as, for example, turning a tragedy into a triumph. In this sense, attitudinal values are what a person discovered by the attitude he or she takes toward unavoidable suffering. For example, an elderly, depressed patient who could not overcome the loss of his wife was helped by the following conversation with Franco. Franco asked this old man, what would happen? What would have happened if you had died first before your wife, and your wife would have had to survive you? This means if this old man lived longer than his wife. Oh, replied the patient, for her this will be very terrible. How she would have suffered. She must be very sad, and she would be depressed for a long time. Franco continued, you see such a suffering has been spared her, and it is you who has spared her from this suffering. But now you have to pay for it by surviving her and mourning her. The old man said no word, but shook Franco's hand and calmly left his office. So in this example, Franco shows that how a person's attitudinal values can create a personal meaning for his suffering. The old man was suffered for depression and his wife's death, but he suffered so much and he loved his wife so much. So he finds the meaning from this suffering because one of one of him or his wife must suffer for the death of his or her spouse. Since that this man considers that his suffering has a special meaning. At least his wife didn't need to suffer for the depression. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the less of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. In Franco's perspective, meaning is shaped by a person's attitude. It is through attitudinal values that even the negative, tragic aspect of human existence, or what I call the tragic triad, pain, guilt, and death, may be turned into something positive and creative. So there is a question for everyone. In these three ways, consider these three different ways to create meaning. Uh, how do you find meaning in life? Um, which one do you relate it to the most and why? Is it very hard? I want to invite your response. Creative value, experiential value, and attitudinal value. Which one do you relate it to the most and why? Or in another way, or you can consider the following three questions. Can you give an example of a creative value that is important to you? And you can explain briefly why it brings meaning to your life. Or second, share an experience that aligns with one of your experiential values and how it has brought meaning to your life. Or third question, can you give an example of an attitudinal value that you strongly connected with and explain why? So you can give me a brief answer or ask some help, but I expect each person can uh, express your opinion a little bit. At this moment, I consider creative value is more related to me. For me, the meaning of life is about to creative something. So, could you think about your meaning source and give me some response? Are you ready or? um, is it difficult to answer or is it difficult to understand? Which value is more important for you?
干嘛没另外这种不用涂吗？ 一直上大腿的部分没涂到哎，后脚的部分也没涂。
Or maybe you need a little bit of time to think about it. Let's us have a 10 minutes break and come back with your answer. Is it okay? Yeah, let's have a 10 minutes break. Then we come back with your answer, please. Okay, okay. See you in 10 minutes.
对。
Hello, everyone. If you are back, please raise your hand. Thank you, Jiarong. And do I explain this three concept clearly? There are three concepts by which we can find the meaning of life, which is creative value, experiential values, and attitudinal values, which means we can create meaning of life by creating something, anything, something, or experiencing something, encounter something. If you have a very great experience, without your life, you cannot experience these beautiful things. So, the meaning of life is to give you opportunity to experience something beautiful and great. Then, by this way, you will feel amazed by the beauty of life. Another way to find meaning is to take an attitude. By take a attitude, even you suffer in a very difficult situation, because your attitude is very it embody your kindness, compassion, love, or something, then make your character become great. By taking this stance or attitude, your life become very great or meaningful. So by these three ways, people find their meaning. And which value is more important for you at this moment? Or in your life, can you give us an example that embody these three different values, or one of these values? So you can just choose one and explain why a little bit. Is it okay? Okay, Jiarong, please.
I think attitude value is the most important for me. During the school, and teachers always tell us attitude determines latitude. So I think the attitude is the basic learning for a person. And for example, during after the nurse going to the hospital, we have maybe 3 months or maybe 3 months the working learning. And for me, during the time when I learned how to be a nurse or how to use the computer system, and I'm not for the speed for I learning is not very quickly, but I can spend more time for the learning and for my colleague or my manager. They will think I am I'm serious for my work. Then I have a good attitude for learning to be a nurse. Then when I have some mistake, they have more turn.
They tolerance your
Oh
mistake.
yes, they encourage me more.
Uh, I see. I think it's a very good example to show your attitude. Even you didn't do it very well at the first time, since you are a new nurse, but you try hard, and you tried your best to do it. Then your attitude prove the meaning of your life and your time. So your effort, you did made a lot of effort to do it, then it is very important and give the difficult time a very great meaning. I think Jarong experienced some difficult time when he become a nurse at the beginning, but if you can take a very good attitude, it probably can prove something very important and very valuable in your life. You didn't give up easily. I think it's good. Uh, any any other response?
Okay, I can respond.
Yes.
Um, it's difficult to choose one out of all three values because I think um, all three values are very important and they are correlated with each other because we have attitudinal value, so we can create something, and once we create it will automatically change into experiential values. um, so so I think I cannot choose one as only as the most important, but everything is very important. But I want to give example of experiential values, uh, and about my experiential values. I want to share about my experience working as a teacher in Nepal. I was working with Teach for Nepal for 2 years, and it was it was working in a rural area of Nepal for the children who don't have good access to education. And because I worked there for 2 years, um, I keep I think that brings much more value in my life because I can always remember that those 2 years and be proud about my service uh, for education and for my country.
Yeah. I think you experience that time and you have the opportunity to uh care, give them caring, and teach them, and give them some opportunity to be educated well. Then it's very important because you did some great things. Yeah, you do it as volunteer or you work as a work as a teacher.
It is not volunteer job. I get paid, but
A little bit.
uh, it is different than being a regular teacher because in this program we have to go to some other village very far away from our home and use different technique to teach those children better than the normal teaching method.
Yeah, I understand. It's a special program, not regular school.
Mm.
I hope we can have chance, we can have opportunity to go to be a volunteer teacher in Nepal
Yeah.
someday maybe.
Taiwan also have this program like Teach for Taiwan.
Yes, I understand. It's special program,
Mm.
not regular program. Mm. Teach rural area students probably. Um, it's a good example. Thank you, Anish. Uh, is there any response? Xinyu, are you ready? And Alona, are you ready? We have some small assignment today, so be sure you are ready to give us some response. Fengyi, please.
I'm so sorry because I'm not feeling well, so I just don't turn on
Okay.
my camera. For me, same as Anish, I don't think that I want to choose one of it, but right now in my life, attitudinal values is the most priority because I ever come across the expiration values because during my 20 plus years old age, I ever has the experience to travel around as a tour leaders, bringing the the customer going to travel around the world like China, India, everywhere. But for those that when I see my most memorable uh, journey is going to India with the Buddhist pilgrimage tour, which is we go to the place that the Buddha born and how is it the Buddhist Buddha Dharma is going on. So I can see really the 生老病死, the death, the life, and how poor is that country. But although we just see some of it, but I can experience that actually if tomorrow is the end of my day, but what is my life for me today to bring good things to this world? So it is a good things to let me to think about what I should create uh for rest of my life after that. So then I have a good chance to work as a volunteer in Zuchi. So this give me an very exploration values to know that our life is not only for ourselves, is we can do some good things to work for others. So this is my experience to share with us. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Feng. It's so good to travel around so many country and so many famous place. Alona, please.
Yes, I was in India too, and it was like 2 weeks ago. Yes, and I was in the conference, and about what you said, I have another opinion about this. And for me, I saw how poor this country is and how terrible is it for me because I'm from Europe and we have different cultures and etc. And when I think how bad is my life, I just remember that no, my life is not bad. I was feeling bad when I was there. So yes, it's so different experience when you visit some countries for different people. What they have had.
Mm. So you also travel in some country, and this kind of experience give you some meaning of life. Thank you, Alona. Thank you. And Xinyu, if you are ready, you can give me a clue. Then I will call you to answer. Let's keep working or let's keep going. Another important point is that the discussion of success or happiness. According to Franco, success, like happiness, cannot be traced. It happens naturally when someone is dedicated to a cause bigger than themselves or when they surrender to someone else. So in this sense, Franco considered that the pursuit of happiness can lead us to feel stressed, frustrated, depressed, and anxious. Happiness is usually about trying to satisfy our wants and needs, looking toward ourselves, and inward looking focus. We can learn from successful and well-known individuals that wealth, fame, and material possessions do not always guarantee happiness. And I want to show you a video. Okay, maybe later. The theory of meaning can be used in many situations. For example, post-traumatic stress disorder and acute stress. Logotherapy was founded on a preface of suffering. One of the best things about logotherapy is its ability to empower people, freeing them from their symptoms and helping them become more proactive. It can be also used on patients with alcohol and drug use. Franco mentioned about a name, existential vacuum. It's about a mass neurotic trait of aggression, depression, and addiction that occur when people experience a sense of emptiness in their life. The vacuum leads to violations of social norms, symptoms of stress and addiction. Help the clients find their own freedom to make choice, the desire to find meaning, and the responsibility to live a purpose life is very important in this approach. Franco's theory is also used on the patient with cancer. The research shows that logotherapy can help people dealing with cancer, and it helps people have more meaning, more sense of meaning. It can be also applied to people, uh, applied to actually divorced woman. When comparing to the effectiveness of Gestalt and logotherapy in a group of divorced women, logotherapy showed better results than Gestalt therapy in reducing depression, anxiety, and aggression. We do not ask life what the meaning of life is. Life asks us, what is the meaning of your life? And life demands our answer. So it's not right to ask life, what is the meaning of life? But we need reply this answer at least one day before the end of the days. before the end of the day, we live in the world. Before the day's coming, we need to answer this question. And there is a very special example. I think it's funny. Actually, I read a news. A man proposed to his girlfriend, and he give his girlfriend a ring, but also give his girlfriend's 4 children a ring, 4 rings. He do this with a special meaning because he want to ask children to accept him as a father. And this is very meaningful for children because children say yes, then he marry their mother. I think he did this and show his great attitude and love to his girlfriend's 4 children. And this is very special behavior for me. So I think their children will always remember his father's goodwill and love in the rest of their time. Although a family always experience very difficult time sometimes, always, yeah, especially it's a reunified family. But however, the if they remember his father's good attitude, they will go through this difficult time and everything difficult during his life. So due to the time limit, I didn't let you see the video. But at this moment, I want you to create something. I want you to do an activity which is created by Franco, a valued tattoo. Do you like tattoo? A value tattoo is a method used by Viktor Frankl, where instead of asking people what is the what is most important in life, people are encouraged to use creativity and image a tattoo that would be meaningful to them. So please get a paper and a pen ready. And then I want to give you maybe 3 minutes to create a tattoo that represent an important and meaningful value for you. Or you can create an image or slogan, but try to create a tattoo for yourself. In this case, in this picture, this person create a tattoo. I know my value. So you can also give yourself a tattoo to represent your value, a very important things in your life that give you meaning of life, give you a sense of meaning. Be sure to use temporary tattoo marker. This kind of marker can last around 2 days. So if you use these tattoo markers, you need to be careful because when you draw something on your skin, you can only wash them away 2 days later. So do not draw something very ugly on your face. For children, it will be much better to use washable markers if it is possible. Then please prepare a paper and pen, and I want to show you a value tattoo. If your camera doesn't work, you can set a picture to the you slide. How about you slide? Or you can show us by your camera. We have 3 minutes to do it. So please try to do it. We can conduct this activity for teen young people group, any young people group, probably in elementary school or in senior high school or in any camp. It will be very interesting. But sometimes people don't like tattoo, so it will be much safe to use washable marker. But for adult, it's okay to use a tattoo marker. I want to buy some tattoo marker if it is possible. Oh, we have 1 minute left. You can tell us your idea or just take a picture. Or tell us your slogan. We have 30 seconds left. If you need more time, please raise your hand. If you are done, you can send the picture through Line Messenger. Do you need more time? If you need more time, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. I saw the slogan of Anish. I saw Fengyi's picture. It's very beautiful. Tattoo means some pictures on your skin. People sometimes write some slogan or picture or the name of their loved one on their skin. It is a subculture for teenagers, but it's also okay for an adult, I think. Do you need more time? I didn't see Alona's slogan or tattoo yet. Do you want to show us?
No, I want to say that I will never will have tattoo because I think it's very. I don't think that it's stupid. It's of course your choice, but I think that life is changing, and if you want to have some tattoo, you can just draw by pen or something. Because after 10 years
Yeah,
ago, you will be
I
another
agree.
people, and maybe if you have some. Event that is very important for you now after 20 years ago it will be noisy, so that's why I will never do this. So I
I
don't have
agree.
slogan.
I agree. So we didn't make a tattoo on your skin. We just draw a picture on the paper, but it's just a design. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Not don't easily make a tattoo on your skin, or you may regret someday. But it's okay to create something. And I think Franco do it for a very special reason because he is a psychologist. He need treat people with depression. Some people will suffer very much due to some bad experience. So he did this for some special reason. But I accept that if you feel not okay to have a taboo, but it's still okay to create something.
Okay.
And okay, okay. 嘉荣 and Xinyu, do you want to show us your tattoo? If you are ready, just set it through live message. And another activity Victor create is value living during challenging time. We can think about this activity actually help clients think about a difficult situation and reconnect with personal values. By doing this, clients can find purpose in their struggles and become stronger and more patient with stress. Consider that situation. If you climb a mountain, the mountain is very high. Mountain climbing is very exhausted and make you feel tired. Uh, Sometimes it is also very difficult. But if you consider that you can see some very beautiful view during this journey. Sometimes you see more beautiful views because it's very hard to climb mountain, or another beautiful view, and you can enjoy, actually you can enjoy the journey even it is very difficult, because you really see something beautiful in this journey. The journey during the journey is even more beautiful sometimes. So when you reach the top of the mountain, you reach your goal, and you also enjoy the journey. You also enjoy the beautiful things during the journey. The whole experience, the whole process become more acceptable if you can value the process. I saw Jiarong's slogan. So Franco did this activity. First, create a difficult situation. We can think about a situation. Because of time limit, we didn't do this activity, but we can do this activity when you conduct a teenager camp or some activity. When you find yourself in a very difficult situation, you can ask yourself, how can I make this situation more meaningful? What can I do right now to make it meaningful? What can I learn from this experience? What changes can I make for the future? What can I do differently next time? How can this experience benefit me or others? From the perspective of Franco, suffering is an unavoidable part of life, even as fate and death. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So, in this sense, Franco created a philosophy that helped people to experience suffering, to survive from suffering, and even have the ability to suffer more in a sense. But however, we will suffer in one moment in our life. We couldn't escape that, or at least we couldn't escape death or disease. When we are getting old, we will need to go through the process. We need to go through disease and death. At that time, we need to suffer. We will suffer. But however, if we have the ability, we have the psychological ability to go through this difficult situation, then we don't need to worry too much about the suffering, because we have the ability to go through any suffering. At least Franco did that. So it's a philosophy about suffering, and develop the ability to go through suffering. So positive psychology is not always about happiness, but also about go through suffering. And some people, some psychologists in positive psychology, they all go through a very difficult lifetime in the past, and then they create some philosophy about happiness. In this activity, we actually can think about what is success by your definition. You can think about how do you define success. They can be something personal. For example, getting married, having a child, or professional. For example, getting promoted, finding a new job. You can describe your success, what you have done to make them become real, and why they are relevant to you. Then after think about this, you can create your own personal vision statement. If you enjoy drawing, you can even create a visual representation to define to represent your definition of success. The success can be something like this, a kind of lifestyle, or maybe a position, or maybe a company, a restaurant, a coffee shop, cafe, breakfast shop, or maybe something you want to have in the future, a very beautiful house, something like that. Then you can create your own definition of success and think about it, and that make your life become more meaningful, give your life a sense of meaning, and make the difficult situation become more endurable. However, there are many ways to find your own meaning in your life. And in the end, I want to ask you a question. After this question, you can have a break and go home and go to bed maybe, because it's quite late now. When in your life have you felt a strong sense of purpose? How did you recognize your purpose in that season? For me, when I teach, I feel a strong sense of purpose. At that time, at this time, I feel my life is very meaningful. What I did is, uh, always have a strong meaning for me. Uh, I didn't feel life is emptiness, because what I did and what I believe give me a strong sense of meaning. And how about you? When in your life you have a strong sense of purpose or meaning? After answer me this question, you can take a break. So I want to invite your response, please, to end this lesson. I want to invite at least two students. I know it is a difficult question, so think about it. Alona, please. Thank you a lot.
Okay, I think that for me, it is when I finish some stage. So for now, I think that I have to finish university, and after this, I will see. But when you are finished and it is your, I don't know, last month of the school or last month of the bachelor degree or master degree or something, you understand that you have to do something after this. So you are trying to find it very quickly what you want to do in the life. Well, for me, it's this season and this period.
Okay, it's also very good. At least you know what your purpose. You can reach your goal someday. After that, you can think about a new life goal.
Yes.
Thank you, Alona. And another response, please. After this, we will finish. However, if we cannot change the situation, we sometimes need to change ourselves. So if your life purpose you cannot do it, sometimes you need change a little bit. I'm waiting your response. Please, we have 1 minute left. But I know it's hard question to answer. But however, we need answer this question someday before the days. Do I need to call someone? Xinyu, please try a little bit. Is it okay for you to try a little bit? Fengyi is sick today. When in your life you have felt a strong sense of purpose, do you feel a strong sense of purpose at this moment or at this time when you are a graduate student? Or do you feel a strong sense of purpose when you are a teacher? Or what make your life meaningful? When you study psychology, do you feel a strong sense of purpose? Something like that. When you feel a strong sense of purpose, are you ready, Cindy, Xinyu? Or I think we don't have time. Okay, maybe next week you can answer me, please. I think it's very important to think about that just a little bit. You didn't need to answer this question completely yet, but you need to think about it. And um, another thing to mention is our final paper will be given by Professor Mark. He probably already say something about that. He will give you a final exam or final paper, but next time when Professor Mark come to online the come to teach us, he probably will give you more instruction about the final paper or final exam. But whatever in my part, I need you to think about some question about your life and do something, make a little change in your life, try something positive in your life, try something new at least, and think about some questions in our lesson, then it will be not very difficult. You probably need to write some some reflection, some thought about it in the end. But you can write in your final paper too. But final paper the instruction will be given by Professor Mark. So see you next week. And I wait for your answer, please. The last question. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.